I think tabletop role-playing game box sets are the absolute coolest, so I decided to make my own. In these videos, I talk a lot about how important and rewarding it is to take an idea and turn it into something real. I think some things like drawing a map are pretty easy. You know, you can create a world and then spend an afternoon drawing little symbols on a piece of paper to make your world come alive. Every month on my Patreon, I make a new TTRPG zine. I could just release it as a PDF and be done, but I think spending a little bit of extra time to print it so I can hold it in my hands is just another level of rewarding. Then being able to mail out the zines so other people can hold them and read them and use the zines at their game tables, that's the sense of accomplishment that keeps me motivated to create more and more fun stuff to share. Now, I've been planning this Kickstarter for Dragontown and the Darkness Below. This is a hardcover collection of 10 of my zines, the Flick Silver Pen adventure zines, collected into one big book. And my goal with this Kickstarter is to create a really awesome physical book. But since I'm crowdfunding this project, why not go the extra distance a little bit further and make a really, really awesome box set as well. Now, I should mention at the top here that this Kickstarter goes live next Tuesday, September 24th. I'm going to be launching it on a live stream here on YouTube around noon Eastern time, so definitely stop by for the excitement of that. Anyway, let's talk about this box set. I think a good box set gives you everything you need to play. Physical components that make running the game, or in this case, an adventure, more tangible. It brings the stories we're telling in our heads into the real world in a fun and tactile way. So when I'm putting together this Dragontown box set, I really wanted to make sure all the components were the things that would help me bring Dragontown to life on my gaming table. The first things are the maps. There are 20 illustrated maps in this adventure, and I think having some sort of visual reference to help the GM explain all of these crazy locations that the players are going to be exploring is super, super important. So each chapter in this adventure is a different location, so the maps are all a little bit different. There are village maps, hex crawl maps, point crawl maps, dungeon maps, whatever is the most useful for the scale of this individual location that the players are going to be in. I'm also including these 2 metal tokens in the box set. There's going to be a gold dragon coin and a silver void spawn coin. These things are going to be really awesome. They're 3mm thick. They're zinc alloy, so not actually gold and silver. I like to have a way of representing the player's location on these maps, and also maybe like marking where their goal is, or having these coins handy as a way to like give out inspiration, or you can use them as a D2. Speaking of D2s, I really wanted to include a dice set in this box. I know that most people have more dice than they can count, but there are a ton of random tables in this book. And if I'm trying to make a box that comes with everything you need, it's got to have a dice set, right? Maybe I'm just using this as an excuse to add more dice to my collection, but it's important, all right? It's important. Now, I've gone through a ton of different ideas for these dice. I've had ideas about super custom, extra fancy resin dice, but if I'm being honest with myself, whenever I personally reach for a set of polyhedrals, I always go for the really simple, solid color, easy to read acrylic dice. That's just what I like rolling the most, so that's what's going in this box set. Now, all that said, these dice are going to be colored up just like the magical apples that are really important in this Dragontown adventure. So the dice are going to have a nice bright red color with crispy apple cores showing through where the number imprints are. I'm still being a designer with all of this stuff, and I'll let you know ahead of time that one of the stretch goals for this campaign is really cool thematic dice bags. So hopefully we can get that and get a fun dice bag in the box set as well. Now, it's not just magic apples. There are an absolute boatload of other magic items in this book. And like I've said in previous videos, handing your players magic item cards is one of the most fun things to do as a GM. And the players love having their items as actual physical things they can hold and pass around. So there's going to be 52 illustrated magic item cards. Actually, there's going to be 44 illustrated cards and then 8 blank ones, because I really want to encourage you to create your own magic items, do little drawings on the cards to hand out to your players. Another thing I really wanted to include in this box is a super colorful, evocative GM screen. If we're talking about having some art that sets the stage for an adventure, the GM screen is a great way to show your players the style and the tone of the game without taking up a ton of real estate on the table. So the GM screen has a bunch of monsters and enemies that the players might face on their adventures on one side, and on the other there's going to be a bunch of helpful information for the GM. I always need names on the fly, so there'll be a list of setting appropriate names. There's going to be some quick and helpful conversion stuff since this is a system neutral adventure. There's going to be a chart with the magical effects of those apples that the players are going to be finding everywhere. And there's going to be some additional encounters in case the players really surprise you. I'm just trying to make a box with everything you need to make Dragontown come to life at the table, and I think a GM screen is a must-have. Maybe it goes without saying, but of course the hardcover book is going to be in the box as well. I'm working with the manufacturer to make a really awesome box. This is just a blank prototype. Things are going to change a little bit because the size isn't quite right, but basically I'm making sure that all of these fun components fit in the box perfectly so you can throw the entire box in your bag and bust it out wherever you want to play Dragontown and the Darkness Below. I've got some fun stretch goals planned to upgrade a few things inside this box, but really I want to make sure that this box set is awesome from the start, so even if we don't hit any of the stretch goals, this box is going to be awesome. The Kickstarter launches on this coming Tuesday, the 24th of September, and I cannot wait to get your help turning all of this stuff from digital mock-ups and samples into a real, actual box full of radness for your game tables. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you at the live stream on Tuesday. See ya! My brain just broke. That's good though. Okay.